Now, if you read the latest Lookism chapters, you pretty much know what this video is about. Did Hudson Ahn beat Eli JANG? And honestly, it's an interesting topic since we've seen Hudson lose time and time again, but eventually he does win in the end. However, this is Eli JANG we're talking about. No glaze, but he rivals Jake Kim for the second strongest major crew. And honestly, if it wasn't for Jake Kim, like having Gapyeong's dreams, like carrying him, then honestly, Eli JANG would indeed be the second strongest crew head of the 4 major crews. So how did Hudson Ahn, the man who was clowned on by almost the entirety of the Lookism community, how did he defeat him? And to be honest, did he even beat Eli JANG? And my answer, to be fair, is yes and no. Hudson said he'd never return to Ansan until he defeats Eli JANG, and as we clearly saw, he returned to Ansan, which should mean he beat Eli JANG, right? Correct. But then again, this is Eli JANG we're talking about. During the time skip, there's been a bunch of P's, and Eli JANG practically has 0 reasons to fight anybody, but he's also one of the strongest future top tiers in the Lookism series. So how could he lose to Hudson Ahn? Well, it's simple. He let Hudson Ahn defeat him. This should be a no-brainer because it would make no sense for someone as strong as Eli, who is extremely important, to become overpowered by Hudson Ahn. It makes sense that Eli would let Hudson beat him since Eli has nothing to fight for anymore. Hostel, it was doing well, and Eli was pretty much annoyed with having Hudson among them, along with the rest of Hostel being annoyed by him. So the simplest way to get rid of him was by losing to him. So yeah, but this would be a really boring video if I just ended it like that. So I'm gonna make a deeper analysis and explain why Eli JANG basically has no need to fight anymore up until the current chapter, which is he's gonna be fighting, but I'll explain why. Anyways, the reason why I believe Eli JANG lost to Hudson Ahn is he lost his will to fight. If it was a bloodlusted Eli JANG who had everything to lose, then honestly he would certainly beat Hudson Ahn. While Hudson has been training his hardest, it was explained by JANG that certain people have different starting points. Those who have talent have better starting points than those who don't, and if you have more talent than a talented person, which, oh my god, that is a tongue twister, well, your starting point would be way further than theirs. This is why Jin was so strong at at his young age, even though he was training, I guess, but he was mainly carried by his genes. And another person who's carried by talent is Eli JANG, but he's more of natural talent, unlike people with genes such as Jake Kim. This is why Hudson Ahn, although being an extremely strong character himself, is still no match for Eli JANG, who's literally on par with certain first generation kings. He has too much technique and fight IQ to lose to someone as simple as Hudson Ahn, who only fights through pure strength. But at this point, what does Eli have to lose? After all, he doesn't need to fight for anything. Eli has Yenna to take care of and is now focusing on his studies. He doesn't need to fight for Hostel anymore simply because they're doing well now and making their own money and supporting themselves. But why is he still fighting them? It's simply because Eli has one more thing to resolve, and that's what happened to Chuck Quack and Justin Peng, who were a part of Hostel A. They were arrested, and Eli joined the Allied's fight against the 4 major crews to find out what happened, since they're a personal matter to him, alongside the fact that they traffic little girls or something, which to Eli JANG, and someone who is like him, I guess, anybody who's like him, which is basically a loving father of a little girl themselves, they see it as his fatherly obligation to put an end to it. So yeah, this is actually great character development, since Eli JANG at the start was he was a character who misunderstood feelings and cared for himself since he was a lonely child. Now he's surrounded by family and he's pretty much a great father. So yeah, and he's being a dad, which is basically his character now, just being a dad, I guess. Not only to Yenna but also the runaway families. So yeah, it's his duty to help out all those innocent little girls from those dirty traffickers who are kidnapping them and taking advantage of them. If you guys think I missed out some parts in this video, then please do let me know. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.